that's it. Essentially, it's a team of true professionals. This is just an aerial view of the shopping center, what exists now. And this is just, as most of you actually know it, this is again an aerial view, red line of the shopping center, and to the right on the screen is the location of the building that we purchased, the building that we will soon be in the process of rehabilitating, and where many of the stores which are located to the left will relocate. Truthfully, it's a mere block away. Phase one of this will be to remove that building and the adjacent lot. As I said, and I'm repeating it, to develop it and where people will be relocated. Phase two, importantly, is that we are going to be coordinating with NatGrid with substantial oversight from DEC on remediating the pollution, the environmental concerns in the ground. Then we're going to essentially build, once all of that's done, we build the commercial and the residential. There will be plenty of parking located within the commercial. And as I have repeated before, that investment of $450 million actually turns into an investment of more than $1 billion because of what is referred to as the multiplier effect. And that multiplier effect is very simple. When you put $1 into the community, it creates additional economic activity, and it works out to about, a conservative estimate by all economists, is that it's about 3 times the amount of your investment. So that's how I came up with in excess of $1 billion. This is the existing shopping center, which, truthfully, I think is in desperate need of updating, rehabilitation. This was the bathhouse, a beautiful exterior, and this is the adjacent lot, which we took an interest in, which will be used primarily for some stores and for parking. Again, this is, when people say let's preserve the neighborhood, let's preserve the area, this is the area which is under the tracks, which frankly I wish if the controller was still here, he would help us find some money, and maybe the councilman can help us find some money to fix up this whole area so that people would be able to walk to the subway safely, and that this would be a very nice area for the people in the community, as opposed to what exists right now. This is really, repeating pretty much what I have said. Yeah, keep going. Again, I went through all of this. This is phase one, which is 614 Sheepshead Road, the building where many of the stores that provide services will be going. This is right now a design draft of what the building on 614 Sheepshead Bay Road will look like. Notice it's certainly, in my opinion, a substantial improvement over what exists. Phase two, which is the existing Trump Village Shopping Center, again, there'll be approximately 150,000 square feet of retail. Everyone can read this, but as I said, the important pieces to come away with are we're taking polluted piece of land, remediating it forever. I mean, I often, as a representative in residential buildings, are presented with a lot of environmental problems. We always have, you know, asbestos and lead issues, and those are significant environmental issues. And there are ways to deal with it, and I have always found the best way to deal with it is to get rid of it. You never have to worry about it anymore. You don't, the children are safe, and it's over forever. And that's exactly what we want to do here. Again, this will be designed to be resilient to storms, which I know many of your buildings now are being retrofitted to be resilient to storms. I forgot which building, maybe it was Warbass where you had all of those problems, and there were some other buildings, I know. And I know that also, you know, you raise boilers in some of the buildings to be resilient to the storms. Well, this will be resilient to all storms.
Can you get back to the facts now? All these emotions are coming into play.
This is a draft. What I think we'll do is myself and the rest of the team will be available to answer questions.
Thank you very much. I think we have a little touch of what's going on, and based on what you heard now, I'm going to call up 4 people at a time who will have the question and answers. Now, when the people talk and when they have concerns, you got to listen, okay? You got to listen. Community Education Council, District 21, Heather Fiorica. Please come up. Libby Selinsky, please come up. Libby Selinsky. Phyllis Turk. And Frida Marco. So, first of all, I have my staff member here. We're going to be taking notes of all the questions and concerns that you bring up tonight. And these are the things that we're going to follow up on. Before I continue with the questions, I'd like to introduce my staff, my dedicated staff. I'm just going to mention them by first name. This way, we don't take up too much time. My Chief of Staff, Mary. Deputy Chief of Staff, Tova. Mary, raise your hand. Maria. Irina. And Jack. Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. Eureka cannot be here tonight. Community Education Council District 21 is currently having a meeting in 303, so she couldn't be here. My name is Linda Dalton, but I have a couple of questions. First, I just want to let you know that you said that District 21 is underutilized. That is not true. Underutilized, not in this area. So let's put that to stop right there. Okay, our questions are related to schools, of course. Our first question is, what will be the environmental impact on this construction site? What will it have on surrounding schools? What measures will be taken to protect children from the toxic and harmful waste from the site? We have schools in each direction from the construction site, some just blocks away. How will it handle not only the harmful waste, but the noise pollution from the site? Will construction take place during the school day? Has it been taken into consideration schools are being dismissed? What extra precautions will you be putting in place for families walking home and cars trying to pick up their children at the end of the day? These are some of the questions we have.
The earlier presentation by the New York State Department,
I just want to bring up a point that whatever answer you're getting tonight, you may not agree on the answer, and we will follow up. Okay, so we've got to keep this moving. I want to hear as many issues and concerns from the people here, so if you don't agree, just we're taking notes of all the questions and what the answers that they are giving.
as presented earlier by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, they are the monitor. The state is the monitor of all the activities that go on with respect to the pollution. As they indicated, there is a consent order between NatGrid and the state, the New York State DEC. That consent order essentially says that NatGrid will clean up the site and that they will do it in a way which is approved by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. It's not. We will work with NatGrid in trying to expedite the process, but at all times, DEC will be monitoring, NatGrid will be monitoring, they will be hiring consultants to monitor. The remediation plan that is eventually approved is approved by DEC. It's not our remediation plan, it's NatGrid's remediation plan. They are doing the investigation work as to exactly where the pollution is, what needs to be done. They will come up with their recommendations, which recommendations will go to DEC, which DEC will then comment on, and that's really an issue which is not us, but it is NatGrid and DEC will be dealing with. As far as the rest of the question with respect to the schools, my statistics, the city's statistics, are that District 21 is at 89% utilization. We are, cognizant of the issues. The mix in our residential building is not set, but I will tell you that it will not contain many, many large family units. We do not expect there to be many, many children living there. There will be a lot of studio apartments. There will be a lot of one-bedroom apartments. There will not be many, many large families. We do not expect it to have a significant impact on schools.
I don't agree with what you just said. I got married when I was 19, and I had 5 children, and I had a grandchild. So, whoever knew. And regarding the schools, this is something we're going to look into to see what capacity the school is right now. So it's not up to you to tell us what capacity the schools are. We want to know the facts of what's going on in the development.
My name is Phyllis Turk, and I have a few questions. When will all the stores be out and the cleanup start? That's one question. And what is the cleanup plan? And is the 40-story building only going to be where the Walgreens site is, or is it going to be the whole current shopping center?
Now, this is a very important question. Okay? So we're going to listen to the answer very carefully, and this is something that our senior population needs. This is some of the stores, this is the commercial establishments. Very good question. Let's try not to, when you come up here with questions, let's try not to repeat some of the questions. We're taking notes this way. We don't sit here till 2 o'clock in the morning.
The last part of your question, we're going to put up a slide again to show right now where we are with respect to what the building and the shopping area will look like. The residential portion of the building, although it's not locked, is for the most part on the, what you refer to as the Walgreens portion. The other shopping center where CVS is, where 2 banks are, will be primarily the commercial area. And the slide, if it comes up, you'll see that. The original question, which was about the environmental issues, none of that. There's more investigatory work which has to occur because, as indicated, a lot of the pollution is under some of the existing stores. It is our goal, when those stores are vacated, then we can begin the process of investigation and the process of remediation. Our hope, our goal, is to finish the commercial building at 614 Sheets of A Road so that there can be a seamless move of stores, doctor's offices, and other services to that building so that there is no interruption of those services. That's our goal.
Thank you very much. Do you have any leases signed as of today? That's my question.
Leases signed for... We don't have, it's much too early to have leases signed because we're still in, again, design phase for 614 Sheets of A Road. We have had a number of discussions with existing stores for them to give us their needs and their space plans. For example, in the Walgreens shopping center, there is a community mental health services facility there, operated by the Dormitory Authority in the state of New York. I mean, we have met with them. We have asked them for their space plans. We have asked many other, buildings, existing stores for their space plans, and we are receiving those plans, and we are trying to design 614 Sheets of A Road to meet all of their needs. So we have a couple of agreements whereby many of the stores would like I'll call it a right of first refusal to move back into the commercial establishment when it's built.
So my question is that what I understand is that some commercial establishments are moving out from the current Trump Plaza. So is there going to be a gap in between them moving out and moving into this new site at 614? So people in the vicinity are able to use the CVS or pharmaceutical need for a pharmacy or a post office. So what is the plan?
There are a couple of establishments that essentially approached us and wanted out. Wanted out of their leases, wanted to leave and use this as an opportunity to essentially to close up. The major providers of services, the post office, CVS, the banks, our our goal is that there will be no interruption of services. We are in negotiations with them. We're in negotiations with them for space. I answered that a couple times. That is our goal, to move seamlessly from one development to the other development without an interruption of services.
Thank you.
Okay, my question is for the DEP. Fredo Marco. I have a question regarding your environmental studies. I find it hard to believe anything we could report at this point, because in 2001 we had the same study. The EPA, the DEP told us the air quality around Toledo was fine, go in there, no problems. 11 years later, cancer rates skyrocketing, there's breathing problems, there's asthma. So all your reports, all your findings are sugarcoating the truth. So at this point, it's hard to believe everything the doctor tells us when there's over 1,000 people who have died, so many are still sick and dying, children have asthma, it's breathing issues, and all the developers came back and said, oh, it's fine, there's no issue, there's no problem. So at this point, whatever your findings are, to your benefit, it can't be the truth. And as far as the development goes, if you really want to revitalize the area, take your money and build something in Coney Island, and build a hotel. Wasn't enough shopping. We don't have enough shopping. They're taking away the shopping. What we don't need is more projects. Check out the one that they built over by the train station. You think they're occupied 100%?
Thank you very much. Let's try and keep the questions as brief as possible, because we've got a lot of people here with a lot of questions. We have Libby here. Before I give the microphone to Libby, let me ask Andrea Mabro to please come up. Brian Gottlieb, David Gordon, and Beth Hale.
Hello, my name is Libby Selinsky. I'm living here for over 50 years, going on 51 next month. And since we're here, the struggle of being a pioneer was a very, very difficult thing for a whole year. And we will go through the same thing over again, except that now there's different people, and that everyone that moved in then, that still lives there, is much older, 50 years older, and we cannot go through this again. We're very sorry, but we cannot do it again. We are losing all our stores, and I understand that D2 was supposed to be given money so that they could move, and they should, because they did have a lease for a long time, and it was not really dissolved. But they won't be in this project that you're going to do. So there's a lot of things that are wrong here. The schools are very, very good. The children go to school, it's very difficult with the traffic. In the summertime, we have a mermaid parade. You don't know the traffic that goes through this. We cannot take our cars out, we cannot walk. We cannot have another building. It's impossible. And also, where is the parking lot going to be? We need the parking lot that comes to service us. That's very important. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Libby. Very good points. We're taking notes. Great. I think that you answered that.
I'll address the parking issue. If you look at the low-rise commercial, it's essentially I'll call it a rectangle, and the whole interior of it is is designed right now to be a multi-tier parking facility. The existing parking lot. The existing parking lot at the Trump Village Shopping Center has a capacity of approximately 250 cars. Our preliminary plans, and not everything is locked, are that we will probably come close, if not exceed, tripling that level. So there will be substantial new parking in this facility.
So, you talk about 300?
Right now, it's just the king.
750 spots?
Are these parking spots, by the way, for commercial usage? I mean, for the residents of the new development, or is it for?
They'll be for both.
My name is Andrea Pablo from Trump Village Section 3, Building 5B2. I just recently purchased an apartment in 2935 West 5th Street on the 22nd floor facing west. The sole reason why I purchased the apartment was because of the view and the sunlight coming from that direction. Now I don't know what to do about this. That's one. My present apartment is facing west too, and if you build this 40-story high-rise, it's going to be block, my views and sun and light. I'm very concerned about it. Furthermore, I am concerned about the noise pollution, the smell from the coal tar that is going to escape. Even the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, they expressed concern about the coal tar smell, which is really awful. And also we are actually creating an oversight commission, an oversight committee, and we would like to know every detail of everything that you are planning to do before you do it. We would like to be informed, in every phase of the development, be notified, so we can actually check on it. And let's see what I'm concerned about. We are concerned about the quality of life, which is going to be really impaired by this whole construction, by the remedial, by the cleanup, by the whole thing. It's going to be unbearable, the congestion, the traffic.
Thank you, Andrea. By the way, Andrea did call my office. She did ask for me. She had concerns about this proposed development, and I did go to her house and to listen to her concerns. So this is very important. We need to listen to each and every one of you. We're taking the notes. I hope you're taking the notes, and we are going to prepare and come up with some solutions. And hopefully January the 28th, right? We will be with the EC, and we need to know exactly what's going on with the contamination site and how you plan to address this. Our next speaker is Brian Gottlieb. I'm sure many of you know Brian. He's a staple in our community.
Thank you, Councilman. My name is Brian Gottlieb. I've lived in the building directly behind the shopping center for the last 30 years. And I would first like to say that I find it offensive and disingenuous you're pushing everything off on DEC and that grid. Taxpayer money combined with the money from customers of that grid that will obtain the remediation project that will be benefiting your client as you hope. Beyond that, my questions are what will be done to monitor the health of community residents before, during, and after this project? What will be done to make sure that community residents and the water table are kept safe during the remediation project in the face of growing number of nor'easters and potentially another storm like Superstorm Sandy? Also, what process will be undertaken to make sure that the companies working at the site, to the extent that they are the most qualified rather than simply the cheapest? Will you agree to meet with and consult with the steering committee comprised of community residents throughout the course of this project? And if not, why not?
Well, I assume that most of your questions will be answered at the January 28th meeting, is it? January 28th? When DEC and that group presents things in much more detail. As far as the consent decree was a condition of the state of New York when Nat Grid purchased all of those properties from Keyspan. We, the owners of that building, the owners of the shopping center, had absolutely no input whatsoever into it. We were, to a large extent, victims, like the rest of the community, in that there's a lien on the property, there's an environmental lien on the property until it's cleared up. So I assume most of your answers will be addressed at that meeting.
Make him answer that question. Steering committee.
We'll be consulting with the community through the council members' office, the community board office, and other elected officials. At the steering if the steering committee is part of those conversations, we'll engage in that as well.
Thank you for the record.
My name is Beth Gayer. I grew up in Trump Village. I've been there for 53 years. My question to you is twofold. First, why would you think that a rental building of that scale is going to work when the one on Neptune Avenue near the Vancouver Police Station has been such a disaster? The second question I have is, the rumors have been flying about upscale retail.